ashes, ancestors, and altars. I get asked a lot of questions about what should I do with my loved one's ashes, my pet's ashes, where should I put my loved ones, past loved ones' pictures, where should I store their things? And that's what we are going to cover in today's session. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Patricia. I'm a Feng Shui expert, and I've been helping women all over the world bring more joy, ease, flow, and abundance into their lives using this incredible practice, Feng Shui. And Feng Shui is associated with your home, and the things that you have in your home are also always going to be impacting the energy of your home and your own personal energy. And I think that's a really important thing to recognize, is that your energy is being impacted by what you have in your home, not just the energetics of the house. So from a Feng Shui perspective, we're looking at the energetics of the house itself, which is playing its part. You can see so many of my other YouTube videos about the 9 areas, about the impact of and the philosophy of Feng Shui. So there's a lot going on energetically. Your house is impacting you, whether you know it or not, or whether you like it or not. And we can have it impacting you positively or negatively. But then also, so are the things that you have in your home and that you bring into your home. I like to think about this of like, if you kind of saw your house like it was a person, you know that eating McDonald's, and there's actually a whole movie on it, eating McDonald's every day would not be a good idea for your health. Like, not at all, not a good idea. So you have to be really conscientious about what it is that you bring into your house, because your front door is the mouth of your home. So whatever you're bringing in is going to be impacting the health and harmony of your home. Now, when it comes to ashes, altars, and ancestors, these are big questions that I get. So if in Ireland, where I'm from, most people are actually and cremation is not a huge thing. It's got much more common, but most people get buried in graveyards or in big cemeteries, and that's a part of kind of more an Irish cultural thing. But outside of that, this was a new thing for me to address with my community and my members from all over the world who still have the ashes of maybe their parents or even their pets. And there's a little bit of like anxiety about like, should I keep it? What should I do? Where should I put it? The first thing I would say to you is like, the ashes represent a loved one. They don't necessarily, they're not the, and for me, my own personal belief is that the person's spirit and energy like lives on. So it's not about them being gone forever, and you may not believe that, and that's completely fine. So for me, the ashes are symbolic of that person, but I know that, or personally I would know their energy is still all around me. Like my father, he's all around me all the time, connected to me. I don't need to have something of his to know that he's here. So there's different perspectives on this. And from a Feng Shui perspective, I don't recommend keeping the ashes of a loved one in your home. I would personally recommend having them, scatter them in a place where you know this person would have loved, or maybe you bury them and you plant a tree, plant a tree to kind of represent growth and to where you've buried them. Or maybe there's just somewhere in nature that you know that they would like just have adored. Oftentimes it can be very an emotive process, So I would say to you, if you do have a lot of things belonging to this past loved one and it is very recent, just leave them there. Just wait. And maybe take time to meditate and connect with the soul of that person, that past loved one, and see what they would like. Ask them, is there somewhere in particular? Connect with that. And know that if you did let go of the ashes, that you're not letting go of that person. So you're not. And it's not disrespectful. They can represent a loss and that energy of grief. And if you're still moving through that grief period, I would say hold on to them for now. But on the other side, like I did have one lady in my community, and she had she had a little baby that passed away, and she had the ashes on her desk. And she said that like basically her work completely she had a massive drop in business in work. And I started working with her on her office and her workspace. And I said, oh, tell me about this. What's here on your desk? And she said, oh, that is the ashes of my baby. And I was like, okay. I said, that represents a loss. And there was a lot of grief and a lot of emotional attachment attached to it. And I thought, you know what, you can totally still have it in your home, but don't position it on your desk, you know, because it was going to keep her. How would she even be able to kind of like keep motivated? So we repositioned it and we talked about in the future moving, and she's like, that's fine. So I would say to you, it's a timing thing, number one. Long term, maybe you create like a long-term commitment to where you think that you would move them to. And then I would say to you after that, like in the interim, maybe you start to move them closer to the door. Oftentimes I'm asked like, well, where do I put them in the meantime? You know, oh, is it bad to have them in my prosperity area? Is it bad to have them in my kitchen? Is it bad to have them in my, you know, health area? Is that going to be a bad thing because it's the ashes of a dead person? I would say, where is it that it feels like respectful for you? So obviously, like the family and community area is the east part of your home. But if that's the bathroom, that would not feel like aligned. Like it would just feel like inappropriate. So then you would think, okay, well, where? Like maybe it's in your living room, maybe it's in your sitting room, maybe it's your kitchen. So you find a place that feels appropriate. And I wouldn't think about the actual energetic, like from a Feng Shui perspective, area. And that, like, where feels appropriate for you in your home for you to be able to see them. That would be my answer for the location of them. And the same goes for pets' ashes. I'd say exactly the same thing. I know it can be a difficult thing, and if you're in that grieving process, don't rush it. And if they're on, and it's almost like a layering of things. If you have other things belonging to your pet or your past loved one, in the house that you know that needs to be decluttered, you need to sort through their things or do that kind of thing, let that be before the actual like ashes, if that makes sense. And maybe set up a beautiful little ritual or ceremony to just let them go. I hope that this was helpful for you. You know, if you're in that grieving process, just take your time, look after yourself, connect with that person and their energy, and just know that whatever you do is going to be, you know, it's going to be beautiful if it comes from your heart. Yeah, be gentle with yourself, be kind with yourself, and know that, you know, even if you decide to keep them, it's okay. Like, I'm not the Feng Shui police, and if it feels really good for you to keep them, that's completely fine. Thank you so much for being part of our community. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you enjoyed it and you found it helpful, please do like and subscribe. I've got plenty of other videos here on my channel that I hope that you will find useful too.